And I just realized I had my camera off. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Konnichiwa, everyone. It is afternoon here in Phoenix, and my name is Doug Brunke. I'm the founder of Global Chamber, and I am the acting executive director for the Global Chamber Phoenix chapter, which is located at Thunderbird. And we have a Thunderbird student here today. And let's see, did we lose you? Where are you? Fatima, right? How are you?
How are you?
Doing well. Sorry to surprise you right off the bat, but you're graduating fairly soon, aren't you?
Yes, I am planning to graduate in December 25, which is like a semester away, like not
Okay.
in summer.
Well, that's a little bit of an unusual one, so it's going to carry into the summer. What are you looking to do?
So I'm graduating with a master, and I'm currently looking for jobs. I do have a little bit of experience in human resources administration, and I've been working with International Rescue Committee. I'm not sure if you are familiar with them or not. It's a humanitarian organization. So I've been working with refugees for the last 2 years, and I'm now ready to move on to something new. So I'm graduating from Thunderbird soon. So yeah, that would be all.
Anything in particular that you're looking for, or anything
Um,
specific that you're looking for?
yeah, I'm looking more into like administration or communication. I also did a couple of classes in data analytics and finance. So maybe I would just like, I don't have a lot of experience in those fields, and I know it's really hard to get into those fields as someone like who doesn't have a lot of experience. But yeah, HR, administration, accounting, finance are the fields that I'm interested right now, or communication.
How has been your time at Thunderbird?
It was great. Um, I've been like taking and trying different stuff during last 2 years. I love Thunderbird. I made very good connections with a lot of my professors. And I got to know a lot of successful people from Thunderbird actually. So,
Fantastic. Are there any other Thunderbird graduates here in the room, or does anybody have any questions for Fatima or ideas?
Fatima, what I missed, what was your degree in? Or what is your degree
so like I'm doing my master's in global management,
in? Okay.
and my concentration is in global business and public administration.
And what in your imagination, where would you love to work?
Uh, in my imagination, I would love to work for corporate um jobs, and I was really trying like Google and Meta specifically. But I guess if you don't know people inside their like organization, it's really hard to get into. Um, but yeah, I've been welcoming like internship positions or entry-level positions, anything that could like teach me something. So I'm open to learning a lot.
Right.
Questions, Paul? Thank you very much. Um, so thank you, Fatima, for joining, and please put your contact information in the chat area, and of course, feel free to stay for the whole hour. This is the Global Chamber Phoenix monthly meetup.
Mhm.
We get together on a regular basis virtually. You know, it's hard to park. It's hard to find a place to meet. We used to always meet out at Sky Song, or generally meet at Sky Song. And now that our headquarters has moved inside Thunderbird, we do and have been doing most of our events here within Thunderbird. However, parking is a little bit of a challenge, and it's traffic is always a challenge. And so we thought making sure that we always have the ability to get our members together to connect on a regular basis virtually without parking hassles and driving hassles is important. We have a number of people, 6 or 7, who have short summaries that they'll be sharing today, and all members here should be able to have some time to say hi. And if there's anything that you need, please let us know. All of you, whether you're a member or non-member, feel free to put your information in the chat area, and I'll ideally point out whether you're a member or not a member, but I think most of you are. It's been a very busy year so far. It's only May 16th, but this year we've done, I think, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 5 major programs already, not including these monthly globinars. We started the year at CES in Las Vegas with Mayor Gallego. And so it was quite a time that we had underneath the Ferris wheel there with the mayor, and she supported some activities that we were doing in support of the Korea delegation, and she made some amazing connections, and she supported Global Chamber amazingly, as she always does. She came back later for the Semiconductor Summit, which happened in April. We had the opportunity not only to have, I think, about 5 or 6 hours worth of programming, but 1 hour of that was an interview with Stan Shi, who's the founder of Acer and also on the board of TSMC, and really Mr. Technology, Mr. Business for Taiwan. Both Francis Tesmer, who's on our global board, and myself had that hour to speak with him about technology and women in business and the semiconductor industry. And if you haven't seen that, it is on our blog. And he's amazing, and it was amazing. Really appreciated the opportunity. So those are certainly been 2 of the 5 key events that we've done this year. Third one was the International State of the Metro, where we talked about how international and what's going on in the international scene. That included Plug and Play, which included the founder of Plug and Play, actually, who came in through Dr. Sanjeev Kagram through an introduction. We also did a Welcome to Phoenix event most recently, which was a lot of fun with Representative Greg Stanton, and welcoming international and other companies to Phoenix. And then finally, we've done Export League. And so we've went through a process where we identified and worked with several dozen companies to identify which ones were most worthy of receiving international leads. And we selected 3 of those. And we'll have the full announcement of that in the coming weeks. So it's been an eventful year so far. Let's see if Eduardo is here. He is. How are you, Eduardo? Eduardo Gonzalez is not only the president of 258 Consulting, but he's also the Global Chamber Advisory Board Chair for the Phoenix chapter. Eduardo, would you like to make a few opening comments, please?
Thank you, Doug. Sorry for being late. Apologies. I was in another call. No, I think what's happening in Phoenix is great. We're moving forward, trying to get more members to join from Mexico and from Phoenix area, trying to think some out-of-the-box ideas to move Global Chamber further on their goals. So I think this is good timing. We had a nice meeting yesterday with Venture Cafe. They are going to have a more active role in promoting startups in the global community. So we're hoping that we can partner with them. So we're talking with them. And I know Doug has been talking also with other agencies and offices that promote startups and new business. So we're very interested in talking to members that want to get more involved also in the startup community, mentoring in investment, venture capital. So that will be an idea that's coming along. We'll have more probably by July when they get back. They're going to take a break at the Venture Cafe. Last night, they had this pitch for a lot of startups. It was very interesting, focusing on clean water and sustainability. So a lot of good ideas, a lot of interesting companies out there. We know that also the issue with tariffs is very important for the region, and also workforce development with the immigration issues. So we're trying to get a grasp also on those issues and how they affect the community, the business community. And also there's a lot of talk of diversification from exporting from other countries and other regions, including the US. So also working to see how we can support those initiatives. Yeah. Thank you, Doug.
Thank you, Eduardo. We are not the only region in the world or in the US or the world that's struggling with understanding what to do next with considering the uncertainty around tariffs. We've been busier than ever. And a lot of that is based on people and exporters developing a plan B and C, pending what's going to happen today or next week. But in terms of the general sense in the globinars that we've been holding over the last several weeks, is that the uncertainty is creating companies holding investment action. A lot of that input has come from one of our members, two key members, one in New York and one in California. Bill Edwards in California got special connectivity into the U.S. government. He's also the head of the District Export Council for Southern California. So he's given several presentations, including yesterday at the Global Chamber Los Angeles Meetup, and he again confirmed that what I just said about the uncertainty causing some delays in investment activity. On the other hand, he has remained and continues to remain optimistic that by the end of June, and he may not have said it exactly that way, but that time frame, June, July, that we'd be past most of this turmoil and that there'd be more certainty. He's not saying that with 100% certainty. He's just getting a sense based on what he's feeling and hearing that that's the case. So he remains, concerned, as many folks do. The other key resource that has spoken a couple times at Global Chamber the last few weeks is Tom Cook, who happens to be from nearby my hometown, but he's a deep expert on tariffs. He speaks almost daily on what's going on. And so check out both of those speakers and others at Global Chamber who are experts on keeping up with what's going on. Generally, though, I think as we can all see, business is still very strong, and the interest in global is the strongest I have ever seen it by far. The old saying of any publicity is good publicity. Global is now front and center nearly every single day in the news, and that's actually helping us. It may not be helping the person in the back office trying to do an export transaction in terms of worrying about what tariffs are going to be applied and how to save money and how to make the cash flow work with that whole situation. That's not a good thing. But for us, and generally, the gift is people are more aware of global, and Global Chamber's never been in a better position to move forward. So we're happy that despite all of that, there are some gifts. I also want to mention that I mentioned a little bit about some of the things we've been doing this year, just to be aware, and then I'd like to introduce a few folks. The next several days, we have several events. You might have seen that newsletter if you're zooming in from the Phoenix area. On Monday, we have Jorge Cañeda talking in our first Global Logistics Update Roundtable. We have a variety of different topics that we do every month: sales, marketing, leadership, etc. This is the first one that we're doing logistics. We thought that would be a topic of interest to exporters. It is, right? It's important that we keep that right at the top of the list. And so Monday, we kick off that monthly conversation. And Jorge, who has an office in Phoenix, will be one of the speakers. So I encourage you to join us. And then I mentioned leadership. Rutherford Pascal, I didn't see him here earlier, but he will be here on Tuesday for a conversation called Globinar of Leadership in Time of Epic Global Opportunities. And the intent there is this is also a second leadership event that we do every month. The first one that we've already started is around health and wellness for leaders. This one is more around the brass tacks of what to do as a leader, how to be more effective. And so we're going to kick off with the framework that there's never been a time like this in history, how the world is transpiring with technology, with relative chaos on some fronts, but also amazing opportunities as countries around the world create wealth and prosperity. So it's an unprecedented opportunity and challenges. And so how do we as leaders face that? Rutherford Pascal happens to be an expert on leadership through his high-level big pharma career. He now is a leadership coach, and he's already helped several people, one of whom we've introduced, very high level. I won't name the company, would let him do that, but a company that we all know, he's helped a very high level person there get to the next level. Both very, very happy with both the introduction and the ultimate result. Rutherford's background has been with John Maxwell. I finally kind of woke up to John Maxwell and have read 6 of his books over the last several weeks, including 2 of them twice. And I understand why Rutherford feels so very strongly positive about John Maxwell and how he's incorporated that into his whole process. So that's Tuesday, as is an in-person event at Global Chamber at 4 o'clock. We have the Consul General. It's actually, he's an ambassador, Ezra Chiloba, who is from the country of Kenya. He's usually based in Los Angeles, but he's visiting Phoenix, and he'll be in our office at 4 o'clock for a 1-hour conversation on opportunities in Kenya. I should also mention, while I'm mentioning Africa, is 2 of the regions of the world that we feel very strongly about and have devoted time and energy in building our chapters is India and Africa. And Africa, of the 54 countries, we have most of them covered with leaders. We have 59 of the 67 key metros of Africa covered with a person, leader at Global Chamber. And our intent is by the end of the year to have everything filled in and also deepened. Part of how that's going to happen is that we are doing our first global event. After 10 years, we were going to do a big global event in 2020, and then the pandemic hit. So this one we've actually scheduled. So hopefully we don't get hit by a pandemic or anything that takes us off track. But on July 9, 10, and 11, Global Chamber is hosting a trade summit in Dar es Salaam, Tanzania, with the president of Tanzania and the president of Zanzibar, 3 or 4 days. I think it's 3, but the last document I saw had a 4th day, but I think that's a personal day. I invite you all to attend. It's coming together. We haven't really fully started to market it, but we will by next week. Tomorrow, Dr. Sanjeev Kagram and myself and our executive director, Nima Maleli in Tanzania will be getting together and putting some final touches on the agenda and then beginning to market it. So if you'd like to go to Africa, this could be a good opportunity. The flights to Dar es Salaam, at least from LA, are not very expensive. So I encourage you to join us as you read more about it. It's going to be a fantastic opportunity. So that for next 3 days, we're going to be very busy. There are more things coming up, and I encourage you to just stay in touch. Before I introduce several of the speakers today, and then we'll open it up the floor to everyone, Mark Cohen is here, and Mark is a special leader for the Phoenix, Arizona, in the sense he's got a unique history and background and success in building business in China. And he's just a tremendous helper to the community. He also, of course, has been helping Global Chamber through the Global Chamber Advisory Board in Phoenix. And more recently, he introduced me to a special person, and it looks like we're going to proceed with a special relationship with him. He knows everybody. Mark, do you have an opportunity to say hi?
Thank you, Doug. I appreciate it. Wonderful. Happy Friday to everybody. Wow. Yeah, it's just sitting back and listening to what you're doing and how you're connecting everybody together brings joy to me, as you know, more than anything else. It's the uncertainty that will be positive for all of us. And I'm always focused in on that. We're working a lot now with the Middle East and Israel. We're identifying what we can do, how we can bring products and services and companies from Israel into the United States. We're also working with, like you said, Doug, with the UAE, with India. And we're trying to really, like what Eduardo was saying, is balance everything together so we can have the Global Chamber involved with all of like the bioscience in the state here and how we can then incorporate that together, how we can build the bridges. That's, to me, is the most important thing that I love working with. And I'm really, really grateful that we have everybody on the call. Just reach out if you need help. My biggest focus is business development and branching out to the next level, opening up countries, finding a product or a service, and then we can then package it together with the team that I have around me. But thank you again, Doug, and we're here to help and embrace this wonderful opportunity. And I'm really grateful for this next thing that we're going to be putting together, and that'll be a surprise to everybody. So thank you again, right? Keep it under wraps. Keep it under wraps. We have to have Luca taken care of, okay? That's it, right? That's all I'm going to say to you, okay? You know what I'm talking about. So that's it.
I do. Thank you.
Right?
Yeah,
you're welcome.
That's one of the most exciting things that I've been part of. And in fact, in speaking with the gentleman that we're talking about, that everybody here knows, it's like one of those ubiquitous names in business who's going to be, looks like doing something with Global Chamber. In our last call, I started to list out all the things coming up, like the event in Tanzania. And
right.
we're implementing Hubspot, so we're looking to scale Global Chamber to the next level. That's coming out, will be set July 1st. We have something called Globi, which is an AI tool, which we've already started to use internally that we're rolling out to members. And there's all these things coming up together. It's just a kind of mind-numbing. And it comes back to the support that people like Eduardo, Paul Sim. Paul, right. I really appreciate your longtime membership in Global Chamber, and there's a number of you that have been involved for so long. Even I see Terry Levine, who was one of the original members in Salt Lake City 10 years or so ago. So I really appreciate all of the folks that have been with Global Chamber as we have been growing and learning and doing our best, and now at this next phase, the second half of the year, look out! We're going to have some fun. One of those folks that's been with Global Chamber for quite a while is Marcos Garcia Acosta. And so I really, Marcos, if you don't mind, start with you. I asked Marcos to give just a short few minutes on the semiconductor industry overview. If you went to the Semiconductor Summit, Marcos was one of the key experts. He has a long career in semiconductor. He knows everybody. So when we did an event, we did a trade mission of Argentinian companies to Phoenix a few months ago. And when they wanted to meet with Intel, they wanted to meet certain companies, Marcos was the key person that allowed us to get in and have some great experiences. Marcos, could you just give us a few moments of kind of give us an up-to-date story about what's happening? We all know about TSMC. We have read about Intel going, some not necessarily all good news on that side, but if any of you have read the book Chip Wars, you know that the semiconductor industry has been very up and down, lots of companies coming and going, technology evolving incredibly fast. The fact that Phoenix now is at the heart of that globally is an amazing opportunity for this region. And thank you, Mayor Gallego, for her leadership to make that all happen. Marcos, could you say a few words, please?
Yeah, so I want to focus on the fact that we have November coming up. No, I'm sorry, it is October. Early October. If not, just look it up. It is Semicon West, and every other year is going to be fluctuating between San Francisco and Phoenix. So this year is going to be in Phoenix. Next year is going back to San Francisco. We went there a couple of times. It is definitely a very impressive show, and we're very happy that the city of Phoenix and a lot of the people in economic development that you work very closely, Doc, they were able to attract it. So for all the people that are working with people outside the United States, I think we need to be ambassadors to, at least me personally, and I hope Eduardo too, and Mark, if you are here in town, to be ambassadors, not only of the United States, goodwill ambassadors, obviously, the United States, Arizona, and Phoenix, especially for people that are interested in high tech and semiconductors. So that one is definitely one of the, big, big events that I see for the year here in Phoenix. And the other one, obviously, it's a global one, is the one where Doug was this year, and I was there with him. Thank you for the invitation. Also, that was the first year that the city of Phoenix had a booth there. It was a pretty nice sized booth, and I think I mentioned to you, Doug, but I'll bring it up, and maybe other people can seize on the opportunity of partnering and helping the city of Phoenix, Maricopa, Arizona, whatever you want to make it look, greater Phoenix area, to seize the opportunity of CES and enhance the presence of our global companies there. But semiconductors is definitely going to be here. And I keep telling people, no matter what you hear about technology, every generation, there's more engineers than the previous one. So every technology that comes up is going to require more technologies, more engineers, more scientists. So and semiconductor is also one of those things. It's almost at the level of magic. So, we are going to have a predominant position here. I think there were discussions with the city of Phoenix about better communications with some of the other international hubs for technology and semiconductors, specifically Taiwan, Korea, and Japan. So we're looking forward to a lot of good news, Doc. And you are a big part of connecting the people, making it happen, and also helping communicate with the rest of the world the value of Phoenix and the Arizona state.
You're amazing. Thank you very much for the update.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks for all that you do. Please put your information in the chat area. Let's keep going around the room, and we'll just do a series of short updates from people. I want to get to Michelle. I think that's Michelle Pauley. Is that you? Are you able to speak?
This is Michelle Pearson.
Oh, Michelle Pearson. How are you?
Hi,
I couldn't
good.
tell from the picture. I still
know.
can't really see it. But you know the
Okay.
city of Phoenix inside and out, don't you?
I do. My name is Michelle Pearson, and I retired from the City of Phoenix Economic Development Department last August. And so I've worked with Doug a number of years, and my team and I, we focused primarily with existing companies, providing assistance from startups to Fortune 500 companies. And now I couldn't stay away from retirement. And so I've been very active and busy working with a number of companies as well as nonprofits and connecting, doing a lot of B2B connection and social responsibility type work, as well as city navigation, any kind of municipality navigation processes that companies have trouble with. And so I'm just starting to roll all of that out. And I'm actually working with Eduardo on something as well.
Very cool. Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
Sorry,
and I'm traveling.
That's great. There was a possibility that Michelle Pauley, who's a global real estate leader here in the Phoenix area, was going to be here. And so when I saw Michelle, without looking at the picture, sorry about that.
That's okay.
We do within, as you know, real estate's always been very important for the Metro Phoenix area, and it's become more important because there are many more foreign investors, and we have a couple of really extraordinary global real estate leaders on the residential side on our advisory board, and we have commercial experts as well. I don't think any of them are here, but they are available and they're doing some great work and they're very, very busy. Let's circle back now with Harumi Maijima, and she is I met Harumi through a member of ours in Washington, D.C., the National Association of Japan America Societies, who joined Global Chamber in Washington. And then they mentioned that, hey, we like to have a chapter of the Japan America Society in Phoenix. And as some of you may know, I lived in Japan, I speak Japanese, and so I have a little bit of an affinity toward that. And that was, I'm sure, why they joined, or that was part of the reason. And they wanted a little help to have their 40th city in the US be Phoenix. And so we suggested that they launch during the Semiconductor Week, which we have designed actually next to the Japanese Matsuri. That happens Saturday, Sunday. We do the Semiconductor Summit that week, and then we get all these Japanese companies coming in to Phoenix. This year, for the first time, they also visited Tucson, and that's a whole nother story, and a good story. So Harumi, thank you for joining us today. You have historically been very much integrated into the Japan cultural aspect. 10 years ago, starting Global Chamber, there was, I think, one, maybe two small Japanese groups. There were probably a dozen or two Japanese companies. There's now approaching 100 Japanese companies in Phoenix, and there are at least 6 Japanese organizations that I'm aware of, including now you. Congratulations, being the 40th city in the US as part of the Japan America Society. Is there anything that you would like to share?
Well, thank you, Doug, for inviting me to just give me chance to speak for everybody. My name is Harumi Maijima. I'm a founder of Japanese Culture Club of Arizona and also Japanese Film Festival of Arizona. Culture Club has been in Arizona about 16 years, and we are very still small organizations. And then Japanese Film Festival is about, this year will be the 3rd year. So what we do is we are nonprofit organizations, and we foster appreciation for the traditional and contemporary Japanese cultures throughout of the community through events. We create events to educate, for example, educational programs and cultural exchanges. And we host perhaps 3 to 4 times a year in various areas, Tempe, Phoenix, Scottsdale. And then also we do exchanges. We go to schools, introduce Japanese cultures and so on. And a Japanese Film Festival is annual film screening. First year was 3 years ago. We hosted at the Scottsdale Mustang Library. And we did 2 days of all-day film screening. And then last year we did it at Taliesin West for the opening screening. And then second day we did all-day screening at the Phoenix Art Museum. So this year we are first time collaborating with the ASU School of Films. And this will be pretty exciting for us, of course, and see where we go from here. So this is something that I like to explain what we do, and we are still, again, small nonprofit organization. But I think when I started this organization 16 years ago, was nothing really had showing Japanese culture that I remember. I think Phoenix Friendship Garden was just being established. And so small steps takes a long time, but we are here still this year. So I'm blessed. So thank you everyone for listening.
Congratulations, great work. And I think the Matsuri, it was always there. It's been around, I think, for 30 years that
Yes.
Kelly Moore has been doing it. It's now grown to I believe, the second largest Japanese festival in the US, which is unbelievable. And Kelly
Yes.
Moore and all the people, everybody involved with it. But Kelly is, as we know, he's a core part of the Japanese community within Phoenix, and he's been awarded a very special award by the Japanese government. I actually got a very honor to the Japanese government has given Kelly Moore that award. It was a few years ago. This year, there were 2 people awarded. One of them was the chef Nobu, and everybody knows Nobu. And the second one was Brian Swords, who's an old friend of mine and someone I met before Global Chamber, and someone who has been inspirational for me in terms of forming Global Chamber and doing some things that he had ideas living in LA on. And he was honored along with Chef Nobu at the Consulate of Japan in LA, which I was very honored to be invited to a few weeks ago. It was amazing and extraordinary. And so thank you for your extraordinary work and continued success. If anybody's interested to learn more, please reach out to Harumi directly, and please feel free to put your information in the chat. Or if and we have about 20 minutes, 20 minutes left. We are going to finish at the top of the hour, just to respect everybody's time. If you aren't able to connect up with someone here that you see, just let me know and we'll figure it out. Let's now go to Ruth Sanchez, and then we'll go to Gita. Ruth is a former advisory board person through Project Cure. Project Cure is a longtime member of Global Chamber, and Ruth, your replacement is still with the advisory board, or is on the advisory board, but you've moved on to something really exciting. Could you give us a short update, please?
Sure, and I scripted myself just to make sure I didn't go too long, but hi everyone, thank you for allowing me to share about NPH USA. What is our mission? We provide physical, emotional, and spiritual support on a long-term basis to disadvantaged children. We enable children to grow into caring and productive members of their communities and we help our supporters create change and improve the lives of vulnerable children. Nuestros pequeños hermanos, NPH means our little brothers and sisters in Spanish. We were founded in 1954, so that was 71 years, by Father William Wasson. And through NPH, we as a team have transformed the lives of tens of thousands of the most vulnerable children and young adults, providing a nurturing family environment, education, healthcare, vocational, and life skills training. NPH USA currently supports 3,100 children in Bolivia, the Dominican Republic, El Salvador, Guatemala, Haiti, Honduras, Mexico, Nicaragua, and Peru. And we really are making such a difference for our children who are going to become productive, caring leaders in their communities and breaking the cycle of intergenerational poverty. We fill a vital, life-saving role with its operations of the St. Damian's Pediatric Hospital, the only hospital wholly dedicated to pediatric and high-risk maternity care in Haiti. And we all know what's going on in Haiti. The only Haitian hospital equipped to provide pediatric oncology care. And, you know, we're not doing this by ourselves. We always need community. And we have 3 fundraising arms: the South, the West, the Midwest, and the East Coast. And the arms in other countries that are focused on fundraising are Austria, Belgium, Canada, France, Germany, Ireland, Italy, Mexico, the Netherlands, Spain, the UK, and Switzerland. And so I'm super excited to be at NPH. I've only been here for 6 months, so I'm still learning quite a bit. And if anyone has any questions, I'll put my information in the chat.
Brilliant.
Thank you, Doug. Thank you, Doug.
Thank you. Thanks for your leadership. Let's now go to Geeta Kola. She's the CEO at Merit Consulting Group. Thank you, Geeta, for your membership within Global Chamber and also the leadership that you have in getting companies the folks that they need. A lot going on in the market right now. Tell us a little bit about what you're seeing out there.
Yeah, so at Merit Consulting Group, we kind of revolutionizing the digital transformation solutions. And across the board, everything is digitized these days, and the more scope is going on. And basically what we are focusing really is on the cloud and the AI data analytics side. So at Merit, we do focus on both 2 verticals, basically, like one is staffing as well as the software development. Within software development, what we have done is strategically place healthcare as a separate entity, so that all the healthcare technologies, healthcare was little bit behind compared to with other domains in the market. So we took care of that, taking a step ahead from Merit Consulting Group on focusing on the cloud technologies, especially AI, machine learning, and BI data visualizations, modernizations, and data management and governance. Everywhere data is pumping into the market, obviously we need some, great solutions has to be there to be able to accommodate all the healthcare needs. That is where we kind of focused on, very niche into that cloud-based and technology solutions, AI and data analytics. That is where we try to focus. And also we try to be forefront for the digital ecosystem for the healthcare. So basically that what it really entails into improving the patient care, healthcare analytics, and the reduced healthcare costs and faster time to market. So these are the areas where we are trying to help our clients to advance into that area. And then also, we got the certifications in ISO 9001, 27001. So all the certifications that are required for the software development, we acquired. And then also the unique solutions that what we are targeting in the market is for the clinical trial data management, real world evidence analytics, primary care providers, specialty practices, some of the research organizations, pharma, biotech, insurance payers, pharmaceutical sales and marketing analytics. That is where we are really focusing on providing some solutions for the clients out there. And the core competency side, what we are literally focusing on is data management and governance. This is where more data warehousing, data migrations and integrations, data pipelines and data curation, and all the modernization initiatives that include cloud enablement and DevOps, web applications, big data solutions. And then also the staff augmentation side, we go on the hire on the go or operational efficiency standpoint, if anyone needed some help, that is where we are really focusing. And then digital enablement as well, which is data visualizations, analytical services, artificial intelligence and machine learning, reporting services. So that is where we are really focusing. And then one of the asks that I have for the team here today is as we are continuing to grow and we are actively seeking for strategic partners and referrals to healthcare organization so that they could benefit from our services, whether it is building custom platforms or modernizing their legacy systems or augmenting their teams with specialized talent. So anything that you know of a healthcare organization facing data, technology, and staffing challenges, we would be there truly to help them to navigate on some of these technologies that where we are forefront. So that is where I kind of looking some of the help from all of you.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. Does anybody have any questions for Geeta or any suggestions? Or for any of the people that have spoken so far. And while we're waiting to hear from anyone, just feel free to unmute yourself and go ahead. I'm meeting with the Mayo Clinic on, I think on on Monday. Today's Friday, right? I do have a meeting tomorrow, but I do have the Mayo Clinic on Monday. And so are you already well connected within their ecosystem?
Not to Mayo yet, no.
Okay, would that be a potential target for you?
Yes.
Okay, very good. Does anybody else have any either questions or suggestions?
I have a question. Are your staff is your staff primarily located here in Arizona or in India or elsewhere?
So for the software development standpoint, yes, we have the most of the presence in India. So we have 20,000 square feet premise, which is highly secured. And that is where all our developers sitting and delivering the projects. And when it comes to the staffing, we established one of the development vertical is 100%, 95% is sitting in India to your question, right? And whereas we have some of the architects, leads, and all of them sits in US. So that is where initially with any new clients, we don't necessarily charge them. So we kind of provide free service to help them solutionize for themselves. And then if they wanted their own solutions, we can support them delivering it. Or else, if they wanted the solution also, then my architects will come and play to provide those solution architectures as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, super. What city in India are you located?
Hyderabad.
Hyderabad, okay.
The southern part of India. Mm-hmm.
Okay, super. Yeah, I am involved with a company in Bengaluru. So we have quite a good network there, but I don't think I know anybody in Hyderabad, but great to connect. Thanks for sharing that. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Phoenix has seems to be a relatively high percentage of Hyderabad people versus other cities. And one of them is Shashi Jasti. Have you already met him with Solugenics? Do you know Shashi?
Yes.
Okay, got it. Do you guys work together or is there a relationship already?
No, we didn't work together, but it's kind of, I know him.
Okay. I got it. Yeah, I totally. Okay, well, very good. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. And that was really kind of the end of the scheduled speakers for today. We only have about 5 minutes. So what I would suggest is we just spend the time just to open up the floor. And if you've got something, we'll probably only have about a minute for it, but so that we can wrap up. Does anybody have anything they'd like to share? Paul, I see you unmuted. Would you like to share something?
Yeah, so Doug, as you know, I sold the business last summer, and I've been helping people with process improvement, process optimization work. But I just wanted to share with you in the group, I'm really excited. I'm connecting up with some other experts that offer, expertise in marketing, people strategy as well. And we've created a sort of value accelerator methodology and program that we're offering mainly to business owners who are looking to exit or transition their business in the next 2 to 5 years. Having gone through that process 2 or 3 times myself, I know how challenging it is, and I think there's a real opportunity out there to help people exit with dignity on their own terms and at a valuation that gives them some financial security. So that's kind of the thing I'm most excited about these days.
He used to be excited about Solar Breeze, which was he was the founder of those, those cleaners for the pool that with solar powered, and just kind of hang in there. I recognize now more than ever how important and good Solar Breeze is, because my daughter has a pool and she's gone through 3 different brands of solar generated cleaner, and all of them don't work.
Yeah. Well, we exited that business at exactly the right time, Doug. Sometimes timing is everything.
Very good. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Does that, by the way, Geeta, I was going to introduce you to Dave Binsfeld, who's in the call, because you talked about, the payer side of the insurance world, but Dave is Mr. Insurance in Arizona. He sold his business to Gallagher, and now he's a leader within the global insurance area. Dave has always been like the go-to guy for unique insurance needs. And one of them was our friend over at the Japanese restaurant, Origami Ramen, first of all, in Awatuki, who actually used to work at Nobu. He left Nobu in LA during COVID and started Origami Ramen in August of 2020. And I told him he might be a little crazy, but he decided he was going to do it, and it's been very successful. And now he has a second restaurant, Yuzu, in North Phoenix, which is more of a omakase style. But Dave helped him with insurance, and a few other members helped him along the way. And he keeps saying, "Brunke-san, if you come by, it'll be a huge feast. You'll love it." So Dave, we have to do that. So you and Geeta probably should talk as well.
Nice. Love to.
Anything you wanted to share?
Oh, let's see. Kind of interesting. Gallagher, again, we're the 2nd or 3rd largest brokerage in the world for commercial insurance risk management services. And we have a global network, so that if I've got a project in the Ivory Coast, and so we need to place coverages locally. So we have a network of highly qualified brokers around the world. So just last week, though, I was in Chicago at our home office and got to hobnob with our brokerage partners from all around the world. All have super interesting stories, but we've got specialists in all 100 and some countries around the world. So it's really fun for me to just be networking with all these great, fascinating international people. That's what I love about the Global Chamber and working globally. There's so many cool, interesting people all around the world. That's
Thank you, Dave. Thank you for
opinion.
Dave was the original host of the League of Extraordinaries at the Arizona Country Club there on Thomas. And that League of Extraordinaries 10 years on is now continuing to go on and be virtual. But thank you for long time support. Just a quick shout out to Akala Raisi, who is working at Global Chamber. She's from Afghanistan, and she's graduating from Thunderbird, and she's going to be actually continuing to work through May. She's got a project in June, and she's indicated it looks like you are going to be available maybe even beyond that, but we haven't worked out all the details yet. So another person within Arizona that's under the radar if you will, from Afghanistan, but an amazingly supportive person, and we really appreciate your work, Akala, at Global Chamber. Thank you. And Sali Alimam, who was here from Syria, she's also works at Global Chamber. She had to leave earlier. And Sali, by the way, Akala, is back, and I talked to her yesterday. So good news there. I think we're at the end of the hour. Oh my goodness. So it's 58. Did I miss somebody? Does there anybody have a last moment shout out? Mark Weiss left the room, and Mark is part of a law firm, Weiss and Moy, out of Scottsdale, but most of the team is in Florida. And the husband and wife team, Jessica Weiss and I'm Farley Weiss. Farley is more intellectual property, and Jessica's an immigration attorney. They're both very busy. There's a lot going on, and they're amazing. And so Weiss and Moy, great law firm, longtime member. I really appreciate their support. Thank you for your support. Thank you for coming out on Friday. Appreciate it very much. Join us on Monday for the logistics conversation, on Tuesday for the leadership conversation, or come out to the office and visit and talk about Kenya opportunities with the Consul General. Thanks everybody for taking the time. Have a great rest of your Friday. Have a great weekend.
Great. Have a great weekend.
Thanks.
Bye, everyone.
Enjoy.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ruth. Appreciate it. Have a good day. Thank you, Darren. Appreciate your question.